Welcome to another episode of Symphony Soundbites. Today I'm with Pilo from the Bay Area. I'm super excited to have a conversation with him. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling good.
Well, thank you for allowing us to have a chat with you, to get to know more about you. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
How has the Bay Area influenced a lot of the music that you make and your creativity?
Man, the Bay just literally means everything to me. Like, as far as my influences and just how my like scope of life is. Just like growing up really in really diverse neighborhoods and being around like all different cultures and all different types of people like my whole life. It just really I never really felt out of place. So I always had that self-confidence with whatever I was doing. So I think that just translated into me having the confidence to make music. So yeah, the Bay Area is everything for sure.
I love that. I know you guys have the slang that's just the Bay Area slang.
No, for sure.
What's your thing? Something that you say that people from Boston might be like, what is that?
Man, just a word, manie.
What is it?
Manie.
Manie?
Manie,
yes.
What does that mean? It means just, like crazy, a little outlandish, okay. Just wild. It was kind
of like maniac.
Yeah,
but
abbreviated. Something that's just I
like that.
A lot. Too much. Yeah. Something that's too much. It's a person could be manie, an area could be manie. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. A situation can be manie. Manie for sure. Yeah. I like manie a lot.
How has your Filipino-American roots and the Bay Area that you come from, what's the synergy between that, and how has that impacted just your overall life?
For sure. Just the Bay Area being as diverse as it is, there's Filipino people in all parts through the Bay. So you would go to San Francisco, there's some Filipinos. You would go to Oakland, there's neighborhoods of Filipinos, and all through the Bay. And for me, I never felt out of place in it. Always, everyone was always together. So it was no weird feeling. I always just felt I could be myself, and that's something that the Bay always just allowed for everyone to just be themselves.
That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping on that, the Very Good Food Tour, right? So you brought a lot of those Filipino flavors into different communities and kind of brought together your music and the food. How did that idea come about?
Oh man, just I have an interest in food and culture and all cultures, not just my own, but me and the team just always we wanted to figure out how to get another way to interact with our fans and have them, bring them out and get them a sense of community, and that's something that we just it just made sense for us, and it was cool just to bring out all these people from these different areas and put them on. Some of them didn't even know because we would go to these restaurants and go to these cities and find a Filipino restaurant and do a pop-up there and just kind of just bring people together hear some music, get some good food, and just bring people out and just bring people together. Especially at that time, there was so much division between people with just COVID barely coming out, and people didn't know what was going on and all that stuff. So it was good just to be able to bring people together.
I saw some of the wings that were a part of that looked fire in Toronto, was it?
Yeah, we had some wings in the Bay. It was
it? Okay.
It was it was in the Bay. Senior, shout out to Senior CC.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, those wings looked crazy.
Yeah, no, they were super good.
Yeah,
for sure.
On the conversation of wings too, right? You had that Wingstop sync deal that you did with the E40 song.
Yeah.
How did that come about? How do you alley those different situations?
I think it first starts off with the music. The music has to be great music, but
of course,
on top of that, I think just having the great team around me. We work with the company that kind of helps us do stuff like that, and shouts out to Greater Goods. But yeah, that's kind of how that came through with that. But it was really cool, man, just to be able to like have the soundtrack to that, and everyone calling me and just everyone's like, oh, I seen you on the commercial.
Yeah.
Like I would get random calls from like people sitting in the airport, people sitting at home on a Sunday night. It's just cool just to be able to like represent where we're from, like on that scale. It was dope.
I love it. How would you tell like an aspiring artist, because obviously that's goals, how would you tell someone to go about acquiring a similar like deal? Like what do you think is the steps you took that someone could follow?
Man, I think just like really focus on the music, like
Speaks for
yeah,
itself.
like
Yeah.
the music, once you really put your all into the music, and like an OG told me, my OG Mike Denton, he's my master engineer, but he said when you honor the music will honor you. And that always stuck with
That's
me.
a bar.
And yeah, like if you really just like pour into that music, and be honest and be true, like all those things will like come, all the things that you need and want.
Yeah. I mean, you were giving me also a little glimpse of the song that you guys just created for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
Tell us a little bit about how that came about. Like that's a moment for sure.
Yeah, no, it just like, again, like growing up in the Bay Area, like I was always a fan of the Warriors, and to be able to do something like this with them, and then not only do that but also bring the Bay together for a track to represent where we're from, especially with like All-Star Week, NBA All-Star Weekend coming to the Bay. Like hasn't been back in the Bay since for 20 years. So I would just want to make sure that when everyone comes to the Bay, they get a good idea of what the Bay is and what we look like and how we coming. So especially doing it with the Warriors, it was just like a match made in heaven. It was dope.
And it's like the official arena anthem too, right?
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
just gonna be played every home
Yeah,
game.
no,
all
for
that.
sure. Yeah, no, I'm excited.
I love that. You've also collaborated with some gems that I think we all have heard of and know of. Kaylani, E40, to speak of a few. What do you think is the importance of artists collaborating with different artists of different sounds and genres?
I think it's so important. I think music is energy. So when you're able to get all these different energies from different people, you can really come with something new. It's just I could bring this energy all the time, but if I add a little bit of this energy, it's something completely new. And I think it's super important for artists to always be doing that.
I like what you just said about energy. What's the importance of an artist himself, like working on his energy to have that reflect in their music?
Yeah, man, another quote, the music is only as good as the person. So it's like you always finding, ways to better yourself and your growth, your personal growth. Because if you're personally not growing, your music's not gonna grow. So you really got to do that inner work, to really get there.
I agree. And on that note, what keeps you innovating and keeping that fresh? Because I feel like you've also broken barriers in hip hop with just doing different things and really exploring that scene, especially with the Bay Area sound. What keeps you keeping that fresh?
Man, just all the people around me. I work with so many different artists, songwriters, producers. Everyone around me is inspiring me, and I think that's and also life too. Just going through stuff as a human being, dealing with relationships and family and all these things. Those are the things that inspire me, and that's music is just my way to communicate what's happening in my life, and
This is you.
yeah, it's just me.
Yeah. That's beautiful. What has been the most transformative lesson that you've learned in releasing music? Because starting from the early days, right, and then Stunna, just quickly just being globally recognized and heard by so many people. What lessons have you learned in your releasing career?
Man, I think really just letting the music speak for itself. I think um just like if you really just like make music that you could stand on 5 years down the line, and you could like that's gonna be able to feel the same, like that's the goal, you know what I'm saying? 5-10 years down the line, like even a song like Put Me On Something, like that song was released in 2017, and it just got like a Wingstop sync in what was that, 2023,
Right.
you know, or 2000,
Yeah.
like, you know, and it's just that's because I think just like it just like I put my heart into that, you know, so it's like it's true.
I like that.
So, you know, you just keep on making true things.
And it age as well.
Yeah, age as well.
Yeah.
It's always going to be true.
Right. I mean, I think a lot of artists too get hung up on the fact that like they're not releasing new music, so they don't have anything to just like be putting out there. But this is a prime example, right? Like 5 years later, it's out here making noise.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think, you know, just like really being intentional with what you're releasing, and like really knowing what your purpose behind it, what the why are you dropping this, why does this need to matter to someone, why are you putting out, like really coming with a purpose behind it, so you're not just like aimlessly doing things, you know, unintentionally, you know.
Being intentional. I like that. Something that I think is really interesting about you too is you bring together like so many different worlds of creativity, right? So you're into the fashion scene, the food scene, the music. What do you think is important when you're like dabbing into like so many different avenues but still maintaining that branding that's true to you through it all? Like how can people do that? What's the thing that you think about when you choose these different things to do?
I mean, these are just things that I'm like naturally like interested in. Like I love food and culture. I love sports. Like you could talk to me about like all these things, and I wouldn't say I'm like the most knowledgeable, but I have some type of like, you know, wherewithal about it. And these are things I just like really like. So it's like it's not too much for me to like go in these like spaces and not be prepared to like talk about it. And I think it's just it's true to me. So it's like, you know, it's easy.
I get it. I feel like I'm kind of sensing like this pattern where most of your responses kind of come from a place of just like, I'm just being true to me. And I really like that. Like I want to give you your flowers for that, because that's really important in like setting yourself apart, you know, when you're a creator. So,
for sure. Like, and I think also like people are like just always looking for like instant gratification, and they're always like moving on to the next thing. But if you just like really do something that's like true to you, always, you can always like do that and repeat that formula, and you can just, you know, sustain a career for real.
I like that. I'm gonna stop right there, because that was exactly what we needed to hear. Is there anything else that you want to share with the people watching this interview, with your fans, people everywhere?
Oh man, just, you know, keep expressing yourself, you know, whatever form that is. Like, don't stop expressing yourself, whether that's through, you know, writing or rapping or creating music or whatever. Just, you know, you could express yourself sewing, so just do all those things to express yourself and just to exercise that creative mind, because everyone's creative. You just finding the right avenue for you to create and express yourself, so keep doing that.
I love it. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time. That was that.